National Land Commissioner Abdulkadir Caliph joins us now to talk more about this saga that just won't go away until we get the answers. Commissioner, thank you for speaking with me. Much has been said about the payout, 1.5 billion shillings to Francis Mburu, the owner of it. What is your position? Is it public land or is it private land?
I believe that that is public land, and that payment should never have been paid.
Why do you believe so?
Those two schools are part of those lands that were surrendered as a condition for approval of subdivision, and they were surrendered to for school purposes.
But this is in direct conflict with the now embattled chair of the commission in which you sit. He sat there not too long ago speaking with me about this very issue, and he said it was private land and that Francis Mburu deserved that 1.5 billion shillings payout from the taxpayer. You're differing with your chair.
Yes, I am, and I can say that just as much as this one is a personal opinion of mine, then what he did at that time, and I watched that interview with you, his interview with you, that was also his private opinion.
So did you raise any of these issues during the commission? I mean, certainly if you have a different position from the chair, did this ever come up in the discussions leading up to the payment? No,
never happened. We never sat as a commission and approved the payment of 1.5 billion shillings to Afrison and Hewlands. We never did that at any time, and that payment was done without the rest of the commission being involved. So that's why I say what he said here not too long ago was his personal position, not the commission position, just as much as this one is mine.
So you're saying that the chair of the National Lands Commission, Swazuri, acted alone?
I don't know whether he acted alone or with others, but it did not come to plenary of the commission for approval.
And so when did you find out that this payment was being done? And when you did, what did you do about it?
We found that out when the rest of the country found out. And we have been struggling to reverse that position ever since, and we haven't succeeded.
Why are you speaking now? The country has been up in arms over this. The county government of Nairobi has spoken out, the Ministry of Education, even the EACC and the DPP had said they were looking into it. One would question why you would come up to say this now.
As I said earlier, we were not involved in this. And when it broke out, we were not sure whether this was public or private land. I carried out my own investigation and came to the conclusion, and we have been struggling with the chairman ever since to try to reverse that position, and he has refused to do it. We never called the commission.
So you've raised it with him?
We have raised it, yes.
And what did he say?
He didn't say anything, he just didn't call the meeting to do it.
Is this standard procedure within the National Lands Commission in terms of decision making? Surely. Does the chair make decisions by himself?
No, he shouldn't.
Does this happen often?
It has happened a few times.
So you're saying that on several occasions, major decisions have been made in the commission without the other commissioners discussing it, agreeing or disagreeing or taking a vote on it?
Yes.
And why now?
Why now? What do you mean?
Why would you say this now if this is not the first time a decision like this is being made?
Because many times we don't hear about it. And when we hear about it, we try to solve it internally. We try to resolve it and discuss it internally. And it takes time for us to get together to discuss that.
Why does it take time?
Because it is him who is the chairman, it is him who calls the meetings, and when we ask for special meetings, he doesn't call it.
So why should we trust any other decision that's been made regarding compensation with the National Lands Commission?
Decisions are not only about compensation.
Yeah.
And a lot of compensations that have been paid are correct. And we have been involved in a lot of them. What I'm saying is there are instances, not only in compensation, but even in other things, that decisions the chairman took is done with excluding us. Yes, it has happened.
The National Land Commission was supposed to sort out these very issues regarding land, which, as you know, has been a painful subject in this country since independence. And yet this commission that was set up to do just that and solve those problems is itself embroiled in all of these issues. One would be tempted to ask what the purpose of the commission is today. Do you feel that the commission is serving Kenyans as is mandated by the Constitution?
Well, first of all, this is a constitutional commission. It is going to stay there, whether this present set of commissioners are there or not, and we are going to go away soon. All commissions are having problems. It's not only us who are having problems. And it is a structural problem that is very rampant. You have seen other commissions also going through the same thing. I can say that we have done a lot that is good. We have made a few mistakes too, and we're prepared to change those, especially now that we think we still have an opportunity to change quite a few things, to reverse some of the decisions that we think is not correct.
And how would we reverse this one? Francis Mburu already has his 1.5 billion shillings in his bank account.
There is a clause in the law that allows us to reverse mistakes that we made. And if there was a mistake, and in this case I think there was, there is this mistake in paying, the law allows us to reverse it and recall back that money.
Are you going to sit down and try and reverse this? And what does reversing this mean? Are you going to be asking Francis Mburu to refund the money?
Well, we have an acting chair. The commission is still there.
Yeah.
You know the CEO is not there anymore.
Yes.
He's an acting one. So the commission is still alive. And we are going to meet to discuss that. And I can say without a fear of contradiction that we will revisit this matter and we will ask Mburu to refund that money.
Why do you think the commissioner, the chair of the commission, as you claim, acted alone?
I don't know.
Do you think he acted in cohort with Francis Mburu?
I can't say that. I don't know.
Do you think there was ill will on his part?
I can't say that. I don't know. All I'm saying is that we heard about it long after it has happened. Why it happened, if there was any motivation, if there was any good reason, or if he has been duped into it, I wouldn't tell.
Why didn't you go before the parliamentary committee when it was looking into this matter?
They didn't invite the rest of us.
You could have offered to go.
We didn't, unfortunately. Maybe we should have done that.
What would one say that this could be a witch hunt against the chair? When he sat here, he said there was a number of people who are out to get him and who are out to remove him from office. Are you one of those people? Is that what this is? Some would ask that question.
I'm not. I have no reasons to do that. But I think this is a mistake. He has done it on our behalf. Therefore, maybe it will be said that it is the commission that has done it, and I'm one of the commissioners. If it is a question of taking responsibility, we probably will all take responsibility whether we have tried to stop him or not. And now that we realize it, I think it will be proactive on our part to go back and say this is wrong and we need to reverse it. You say that this is not the only decision that the chair took unilaterally. Can you tell us about some of the others? I don't want to go down the list that Yvonne. Is it a long list? I don't know whether it is long or short, but they are there. Maybe this is not the time we should discuss the others. So as you leave here regarding Ruaraka, what is the next step that you are going to take personally and as a commission that would start to tell Kenyans now that maybe there's light at the end of the tunnel in terms of solving this issue? What's the next step? What are you going to do? We are going to get that money back. Thank you. Commissioner Abdulkadir Caliph from the National Lands Commission, openly differing with his now embattled chair on the position regarding the Ruaraka land payments. We will indeed hold you to that and hopefully get you here on tonight to speak about this again. Thank you for making the time for us tonight.